Difference between its manga and anime and newly added scenes for which watch. Episode 20. In the anime you can see that the place where they fight is in some warehouses under a bridge. In the anime, the gangsters are shown in more detail than in the manga. In the anime, Keigo and Nico can be seen watching the fight in the background. The anime extends the fight between Kanshi, Miharu and Morihito against the gangsters. The anime shows Kanshi and Miharu fighting separately while Morihito takes care of the last gangster. In the manga, when Kanshi, Miharu and Morihito finish fighting against the gangsters, you can see how Miharu is sheathing his sword while standing on one of the gangsters and Kanshi holds his shakuho in a fighting pose. However, in the anime Miharu's way of sheathing is different, being more relaxed than in the manga, and unlike the manga he is not standing on one of the gangsters, and although he holds his shakuho, Kanshi appears calmer. In the manga, Morihito mentions that the gangsters went to attack them because they had heard rumors of a witch. However, in the anime it is Kanshi who mentions it. In the manga, Kanshi is the one who tells the gangsters that Nico has guardians who will protect her. However, in the anime it is Morihito who scares away the gangsters. The anime adds a scene of Nico approaching Morihito, Kanshi and Miharu. In the manga, when Nico talks to Morihito, Kanshi and Miharu, he can be seen using his umbrella to hide from the sun. However, in the anime Miharu does not use his umbrella. In the anime, in the scene where Keigo apologizes to the others for not helping them, you can see that Morihito is to the right of Kanshi. However, in the manga it is Kanshi who is to the right of Morihito. In the anime, when Morihito and Kanshi tell Keigo not to worry about not being able to help them when he can transform, Miharu and Nico are added to the scene. In the anime, when Morihito and Kanshi talk to Keigo they speak to him directly. However, in the manga they have their backs to him. In the manga, when Keigo hears Kanshi and Morihito tell him not to worry about not being able to help them by not transforming, Nico is behind Keigo at that moment. In the anime she is with Morihito, Kanshi and Miharu. The anime adds a scene of Keigo approaching Nico. In the anime, Keigo mentions being a normal person before leaving, while in the manga he says it while leaving. In the manga, when Keigo leaves the place you can see that he is going to a main street. However, in the anime Keigo walks along the sidewalk next to the bridge in the main street. In the anime, when Nico watches worriedly as Keigo leaves the place, Kanshi, Morihito and Miharu can be seen in the background. In the manga, when Nemu imagines the reception she would have had she gone in her normal form, she is inside the house. However, in the anime she is shown outside the house. In the anime, when Nemu imagines how Nico and Morihito will receive her, Keigo can be seen in the background. In the anime, when Nemu starts complaining to herself about how she complicated the mission, you can see Miharu sitting while talking to the others. In the manga Miharu does not appear in this scene. The anime adds a scene where Morihito is seen approaching Nemu. The anime adds a scene where you can see the doorplate on Nico's bedroom door. In the anime, when Nemu finds out that Nico is in love with Morihito, Nico blushes upon hearing it. In the anime, Nemu is embarrassed when Nico tells her that she's not an expert in love stuff. In the anime, a transition is added in which Nemu is seen for a few seconds and then shown in her cat form before attacking Morihito after she remembers that Nico is in love with him. In the anime, when Nemu leaves with Nico after being caressed by Keigo, Kanshi and Miharu can be seen watching the whole scene. In the anime, when Nico mentions to the others that Nemu is not good with her magic, the focus is on Keigo, Morihito, Kanshi and Miharu, while in the manga only Kanshi's dialogues are shown. The anime removes the dialogue where they mention that it's good to hear that Nemu is training her magic since she didn't seem very excited about it. In the manga, Keigo is sitting on the floor while talking to the others. However, in the anime he is sitting on one of the living room chairs. In the manga, when Keigo mentions that family name and individual talent are different things, it shows Kanshi watching him. However, in the anime it is Nico while holding Nemu in cat form who sees him. When Keigo finishes speaking, the anime adds a scene where Kanshi and Miharu react to his words before attacking him. In the anime, when Nico gives the ring with a flying spell to Keigo, you can see a scene in which Keigo is seen through said ring. The anime adds a scene of Keigo looking at the ring after Nico mentions that he's the only one who can use it properly. The anime adds an animation to the float spell. In the manga, Morihito is seen watching Keigo and Nico before Keigo says that if he can learn to use the spell it could be his weapon. In the anime, Morihito is seen after Keigo mentions this. The anime adds a scene showing Keigo, Nico, and Morihito before changing scenery. In the manga, Nemu is seen arriving unexpectedly at the place where Keigo is training. However, in the anime, Nemu appears out of nowhere sitting on a bench that was next to Keigo. In the anime, when Nemu explains to Keigo how the spell works, their faces are added to the explanation. In the anime, when Nemu prepares to use the spell, Keigo is added watching her. In the anime, when Keigo realizes that Nemu and he are not so different, a flashback is shown with the scene of Kanchi, Miharu and Morihito fighting with the gangsters at the beginning of the episode. In the anime, when Keigo reminisces about his figure skating training days as a child, his mother is added into the scene. In the anime, when Maya tells Nemu that she shouldn't tell anyone that she is a witch, you can see how Nemu responds with tears in her eyes. In the manga, when Keigo remembers Nico's words about the spell, Nico can be seen in his memories, however in the anime only Nico's dialogue is heard. The anime removes the scene where Keigo analyzes the spell. The anime adds a scene of Keigo reminiscing about how he trained as a figure skater as a child. The anime expands on the scene where Keigo is seen chasing Nico using float. In the anime, before Keigo meets the truck, a scene is added in which Nemu is seen flying over the city. In the anime, when Keigo sees the truck, the scene where he remembers himself wearing his figure skating clothes is expanded. The anime adds a scene where Keigo tells Nemu to trust him after telling her to go upstairs so that her magical energy runs out. In the anime, while Nemu is falling after running out of magical energy, you can see Nemu crying. The anime adds a scene where a theater is seen before Nemu begins her monologue. The anime expands on the scene where Nemu imagines a story based on what just happened. In the anime, when Nemu mentions during her monologue that she heard a voice, you can see an image belonging to Keigo which becomes clearer over time. In the manga, Nemu's crescent necklace is seen coming off her clothes due to the speed of the recent fall, however in the anime this does not happen in this way and the necklace is shown during Nemu's monologue appearing with magic. In the anime, when Nemu talks to Wolf about not thanking Keigo yet, a scene is added where Keigo is seen looking at Nemu's crescent necklace. In the anime, when Nemu arrives at the Otoji house for the second time, she can see how the others are behind the glass door. The anime adds a scene of Nico opening said door. The anime adds a scene of Morihito, Kanchi, and Miharu watching Nemu head towards Keigo. The anime adds a scene of Nico seeing this very thing as she closes the door. The anime removes the dialogue where Keigo wonders what happened for the cat to likes him now. The anime adds hearts when Keigo pets Nemu. Trivia: in the manga, this arc takes place before the letter from a friend arc, explaining why Nemu gets nervous when Nico wants to know her feelings for Keigo. In this episode the ending song was played in full.